Not sure if you can hear me. I'm trying not to be in you guys' face too much. But I guess it is what it is. Hello, I see you right there. Is hubby there with you? He's going to be on the same phone. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And I will pop you up. But I know you guys are one. So I can share. It is time to make it happen. Are you guys on your, make sure you're on your cell phone, because I can't bring you up like this if you're not on your cell phone. And you are on your cell phone? Well, I don't see where I can connect you at. Unless your husband getting on his phone. So, there's nothing to bring you up with. So, because I see you there. Hi, Miss Shepherd. Thank you for being here. Miss Cece is your... Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. And Cece, are you and hubby? You gave me the thumbs up that you guys are going to be on the same link. Please get on your phone. If you're on your computer, I won't be able to bring you up. So somebody use the cell phone, and while that's happening, hello everyone. Good evening. I guess that thumb up is also to let me know that you can hear me. Yes. Thumbs up if you can hear me. So, thumbs up. Shoot them thumbs up. Okay. I know that you're now hearing me. And Cece, if you would get on, I see you there. Got to get on that phone, get that phone revved up so I can press that invite thing. Okay. I see you're up top. I'm going to approve that and add you in. Hopefully that did it. Hello, guys. Thank you for being here. Ellen Sanders of ESP presents what we do. Start exciting live on Zoom as well as on Facebook. Is hubby there?
Yeah, he right beside me.
Oh, I just see you. Ah, good to
He
see
right.
y'all. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all. Thank you all. This is very nice. Our topic that we're going to talk about, single dad. And again, thank you guys for doing this. This is our Father's Day month. And
She's already
also
there.
this is the month that we are still celebrating fathers. So that's what we're talking about. And we're going to talk about something necessary. Don't really talk about. And is he from a long distance? I don't see.
He's literally sitting. He's literally sitting right beside me.
Oh, well, I need to see you guys.
Well, where can you
Squeeze
go?
in or
We can't
something.
go nowhere.
Maybe put your phone out, like bring it out in front of you where I can see both of you guys. William, thank you for being here, and also your wonderful wife. Thank you guys for being here. This is a topic that is not talked about. We do not talk about single dads. And so let's get started, guys. Thank you for being there, Miss Shepherd. Thank you for his beloved wife being there. And
some reason
well,
when
let's
we
just.
can't. For some reason we can't hear you as clear as we should.
Okay, can you hear me now?
'Cause I'm
What
turning
about
up the
now?
volume. I'm turning up the volume on our end.
Okay, let me know. Let me know.
Can you hear her now?
Yeah.
Well then,
You
hold
can
that.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Um, First, we'll start off by asking you to tell us about yourself. I know from your beloved wife that you are an educator, and thank you for being a male in our society that are working with children. That we don't have a lot of male as we need lots of males working educational system. So tell us about yourself and what would you like the audience to know about you out there? And let's get started. So tell us about yourself, Will.
Oh, well, hi, everyone out there. First of all, my name is William Austin Jr. I'm also an educator, kindergarten teacher, assistant. I also, um, I also am an artist, a graphic designer, photographer, craftsman as well. And my wife and I, we have like five, I'll say, businesses.
Yes.
5 businesses where we do graphic design work, logos. We do crafts, things such as candy, like gumball jars. Also, my wife, she does designs for like wine glasses, mugs, tumblers, things of that nature. And we also do photography at events like family reunions, weddings, like proms and things of that nature. And we
You
have
guys,
two loving children, Karina and Jay. She'll be a rising seventh grader, and Jay will be a rising sixth grader. And they're also artistic as well, as far as like drawing and painting and things stuff like that.
wow, you guys are just a artsy family. So that is so awesome. Will, this is a tough subject probably for some, and really for me because I was raised in a home with both parents, and um, from my understanding, you was before marrying your wife a single dad for 10 years, raising a beautiful baby girl who you say
Thank
is
you.
now going to be a rising seventh grader, right? Well, she's going to be a rising seventh grader, your
Yes,
daughter.
seventh grader. Yes.
Wow. So I want to just ask you, what was it like raising your daughter? What was that like?
Raising a daughter, I first heard from a wise man once said to me, it takes a village to raise a child. And I have to start off saying that honestly, I was terrified to be a single father. It, I was very terrified. I had no clue on how I was going to raise a child while being unmarried with a small income. The first day I found out, it was a phone call from my daughter's mother, and I was frozen in fear and shocked. I yelled out, pregnant. My mother was in another room. She was like, pregnant? And she hugged me later on that day and said everything was going to be okay. I was 28 at the time, and I was also even more terrified to find out that she was going to be a girl because I was praying hard for a boy. I wanted a son. Sorry to say that, but I got a girl instead, and God, makes no mistakes, and I was glad that I have a girl. But the biggest shock of all of that was when her mother passed away 2 years later after she was born. And I was devastated. And my first thought was, how can I raise a little girl on my own? But like I said, I had a village. I had all love and support from God and my village. And my village consisted of my mother, Karina's family, and my family as well. And I mean, if it wasn't for them, I would have lost my mind. I don't know how I could have done it without all of that help and support and financial blessings from everyone. And it was tough. I mean, I was like, how am I going to shop for a girl? I'm a male, I had a sister and everything, but as far as having a child of my own, how was I going to shop for a little girl? And I could not do hairstyles to save my life. And I still can't this day. Thanks to my cousin, we call her Duchess. Her name is Courtney, for all of her help, the hair braiding, the ponytails, and the cornrows, and all that. And Karina and I, we helped each other out. She was a big help as she got older. We helped each other along the way. She always made sure I was okay, and stayed well, to keep her well, and to go to school. And I was able to go to work. She looked out for me. She was like my little nurse. And she's 12 now, and I can really call her daddy's little girl. She's very intelligent, a straight A student, and have inherited, like I said earlier, her father's artistic talent. So that's what it was like raising a daughter, and I'm grateful for it, the opportunity to do so.
So as I'm trying to see if I heard you right. Did you say raised her since she was a baby, like firstborn?
Her mother passed away 2 years after when she was about to turn 2. That's when
Okay.
Karina's mother died in 2008. I believe she passed away. She, and Karina was just about to turn 2, like a couple of months later. I think she passed away in March 2008, and Karina was turning 2 in May. So she really didn't
Wow.
get to. She know of her, but she didn't, really get to know her well as most children get to know their parents.
So what was those moments like in reflecting and trying to let her know, to be there for her, and not saying you're in place of mommy. So what was those moments like, when her mom is like not there and she really come to realize that mom is not there and all I have is dad.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I know a lot of nights she had nightmares. She would be crying out, I miss my mommy, or where's my mommy? I know she had memories from being at the funeral, like before we walked out to go to the grave site for the burial. I remember we was walking up towards the casket, and the last chance for us to see her, and Karina was like in my arms, and she was looking down at her, but she looked at her like as she was asleep. But it was hard to explain to her that like that mommy is not coming back, that she's in heaven. And like I said, I had to talk to a lot of people in my family. My mother was like a strong backbone for me. She helped me explain it to her, that mom's in a better place now and what happened. She helped me a lot along the way to, raise her. It's like, she's grandmother, but she was like another mother figure for her. She had a lot of mother figures, which also helped. So it was kind of like she let go after a while. I mean, she still misses her. But by her having other mother figures, such as my new wife, it helps cope. It helps to ease the pain a lot.
That's awesome. I commend you for that. That is really awesome. Um, was there any societal feedback about you raising a daughter? And I'm going to just say, you guys, there's some noise in the background. I'm sorry about that. The kids
It's
are out
okay.
of school. Um, I'm going to say myself in honesty. Um, when I saw, and my mind got, and maybe others on here, my mind got to where society stereotypes young fathers or men with babies. So automatically, when I see a male with a daughter or with a child, period, I'm thinking that he is now doing his child support timing with his kid. I don't necessarily think that okay, he's a single father and he's taking care of his child and he's solely taking care of his child. So you get any feedback like that or any eye staring, especially going to the restroom?
That was also tough as well. I have to say I received more positive feedback than any negative or criticisms. I know I always heard, keep up the great work. You can do it, young man. Stay strong. Because a father is like a daughter's first love. They need that love so they can understand one day how to be treated by a man, how to be loved by a man. So a father, stay in her life as all as you can. I was always told that. I remember the day Karina was born, one of the hospital nurses told me I was a good father because, I was there to help change the diapers,
Hmm.
feed the bottle feedings, getting up in the middle of the night, to help out being that her mother was sick, at the time. So I pretty much, was taking over the role like, okay, this is my child and I'm going to do what I have to do. It's my child. So I'm supposed to be there. And also, I thought I was going to be bashed by a lot of folks. Like, as you were saying, like the stares and everything, I did get those.
Hmm.
Like being a single black father out of having an out of wedlock child, and by my church, I thought I was going to get ridiculed and everything by the church and some family members, but actually I didn't. I wasn't at all. Everyone was supportive. They was willing to help me. I got received donations. Even when
Hmm.
I got my first apartment, a lot of people gave me items that I needed. A lot of financial blessings came my way, and I mean, society was actually good to me. It helped me out a lot. It didn't break my spirit or anything. I still did what I had to do, and still standing. Wrong.
Awesome. What was the day like outside, walking with her, going to the park, maybe to the movies or whatever? What was
I
that like with society looking on at that?
I actually enjoyed that. I got a lot of people was like I got a lot of smiles and everything. A lot of female attention. They really loved that to see a man, with his child, a daughter, taking care of her. She was well groomed, dressed very nice. Hair looked well and everything. Child was clean, so that helped a lot. As far as people looking at me, I was proud. I mean, proud to be with my daughter, to spend time with her, to show that I was in her life. I wasn't considered a deadbeat dad, as they say,
Hmm.
and that also helped a lot. A lot of people gave me a lot of respect for that. I got a lot of appreciation for that. So, didn't bother me
Was
at
it
all.
now? This is something that I seen. Was it hard, like taking her to the bathroom? I'll just
Oh,
tell you one scene that I seen when I was about last year or a year before. There was a guy. He had his daughter with him, and we were at Bush, and he got in the same line that we got in, going into the restroom. And he was standing in line, and these people were staring at her. No, get out of here! You should be ashamed of yourself. Why are you in here? And he said to them, this is my daughter, and I'm taking her to the bathroom, and that's what I'm doing. And I was like in the inside, yay, bravo! Because we never think about that, because from a female aspect, we bring the babies in there with us. I think it's probably at the age of 6 or 7 that you can't bring them in, but we still do. So what was that like, going to taking her to the restroom? I know that sounds odd, but that was something that I seen this guy go through. Did you go through any of that?
yeah. I had to go through that a lot of times. Luckily, I mean, when she was a baby, and I had to change the diapers and everything. As she got older, most of the time when I was out with her, I did have like, it would be like my mother or somebody was with me to do that. But when I was alone, I just had to take her in. I'm sorry, I had to take her in the male restroom with me in the stall. Like, we went in one of the stall, closed the door, and I had to let her go to the bathroom. She had to go to the bathroom. I couldn't go in the female bathroom, so I had to do that. Luckily, I didn't get a lot of backlash from that, but I had to do what I had to do. I had to go to the bathroom,
Wow.
so yeah. But
Wow.
I would have did the same thing that man did. I would have been like, look, my child has to go to the bathroom. I'm her father. It's okay. She's going to use the bathroom.
That's what I'm talking about. What was it like dating?
Oh,
Being a single
dang.
father and dating. Was it hard? I mean, at what point did I know you met your wife, but at what point what age was your daughter when you met your wife, and how was dating at that time? Being, you said you were a single dad for about 10 years prior. So how was the dating scene, and was it easy for you to date, now that you're a single dad and now the dating starts?
I would say yes and no. It was hard to date. Yes, because I had to put my daughter first and ahead of my needs. And some females, they were not willing to deal with that, especially when they didn't have my undivided attention.
Mm,
And I discovered those were the foolish females, is what I call them, because I had to let them go. Karina and I was a package deal. I had to tell them that we are one. I always would say I live with my roommate, and she's a 5-year old or whatever age she was at the time, little girl. And if they couldn't deal with that, I had to say, see you. I mean, you had to go. That was my child. And, her mother wasn't there anymore. And so I took that pledge, take responsibility of her. I had full sole custody of her. So I had to do what I had to do. And if they couldn't understand that, then I couldn't date them. And a lot of them, upset about it. They had to go, but a lot of them understood. I even had some ones that understood, stayed around. I had some bad relationships with them, but I had to do what was best for Karina and who was going to treat her nice and kind. And like I said, when I met my wife, that was a big help and support. We did meet dating online. I was kind of skeptical about that because, I've heard some stories about some psychos out there, and I got one of the good ones. God will answer your prayer, and I found a great
amen.
one, a good deal, as her mom would always say, a good deal. And Karina was 6 when we met her, and she's been there for Karina like ever since, like another mother to her. And Karina looks at her like a mother. And they have mother and daughter days. They go out and they spend time with each other, and we have family time and bondings and everything, and the relationship was great. You know,
That's
I was
awesome.
very thankful for that.
That is awesome. There's so many women that they talk about it, that we're a package deal and I'm not going to let a man in my life, but so many of them do, and they allow that relationship to overpower their child,
Hmm.
and they've been raising their child and now they want their time. But that is awesome. Thank you for that,
Oh,
protecting your
thank
child
you.
over your relationship. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Um, and we're going to open the floor up. And what would you say to single fathers out there?
First thing I would say to single fathers is be strong. You definitely have to be strong. And the most important thing of all, develop a solid, stable relationship with Christ Jesus if you don't already have one, because you're going to need him. He's the only one that can keep Satan off your back. I can tell you that right now. The devil is out here to kill and destroy, but if you have God and your soul and Jesus as your personal Christ and Savior, you're going to make it every time. And definitely, if you have get a village. If you don't have one, have a village, family, friends, anyone who is there to be your backbone, to help you out and support you. They, like I said, it takes a village to raise a child. So definitely need them, and stay away from the foolish females, as I say, who don't care for your child and their well being at all. Definitely can't have them around because your child comes first. You know, all your financial needs and everything. You have to make sure that child is taken care of first. And I definitely had to learn that. It was sometimes, I
Hmm.
was kind of selfish or whatever, and I had some of those females. I thought about them before my child, but reality check, and people in my village was
Hmm.
like, "Look, you need, step back, take a look, and do what's best for Karina." So I definitely had to learn that lesson, and it was a great lesson to learn, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely dealing with that, and best way possible. And also, be there for your child physically, financially, socially, emotionally, and most of all, spiritually.
Hmm.
Take your child to church with you. Let them also establish that relationship with Christ. So, the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and they should not depart from it. And that's very
Hmm.
important. Being a church going family, a family that prays together, stays together. That's really important. So your child, can learn about Jesus and have that relationship with God as well. And definitely spend time with your child. A lot of people think because they buy their child things or
Hmm.
do that, that's no, that's not the same as spending time. So spending time with your child. Like I said, take the child out to a park, a movie. My daughter, she
Hmm.
loves to watch a movie, like Disney movies on TV. We watch movies. About like every week, we try to watch it. Pick a movie, we watch it. She loves that. We get to sit down and talk and laugh about it. That means a lot to your child. They'll always remember that. That's one memory they have when they become an adult. Is how my father, my mother was able to watch a movie with me and spend time with me, and I always say time outweighs money. Your
It
time
does.
will outweigh your money. Because money, that's something that can come and go, but time is like something that they'll remember forever. Like those great
That is
memories.
so true. That is so true. With that being said, we're going to open up the floor, and you guys go ahead with your questions. And I hope that your wife have. And thank you so much for both of you guys sharing your time at this moment. And
No
if your
problem.
wife have her phone, she can look and she can see the text, because sometimes you can't see it on here. But go ahead and ask your questions. Vaughn said, "Go ahead, Will." Yes. Let's see.
Thank you,
And she
Bonnie.
said, "Very true." And let's see what else is on there. You guys go ahead with your questions. Go ahead. She says she's on her iPod. Okay, your wife says she's on her iPod. So go ahead with your question, guys. Hello, Robin Williams. Thank you for being here. We were talking in Serenity Rose. Thank you for being here. Your wife, especially. Thank you for supporting your husband, Ms. Shepherd. You guys, you heard us talk about being a single father. He talked about some different things there, and go ahead and ask some questions, especially being a single dad in this millennium, as they say. You got folks, they have their children, and some of them don't spend time with them. And like you said, my dad, he was, it's 11 of us. He had 8 daughters, and we would be walking together, and folks think that as we got older that we was my dad's girlfriend, and they're like, all 8 of them girls yours? Yeah, they all were mine. All, and my mom would even get a letter, folks writing the letters and putting it in the mailbox. Your dad messing around. She thought about, that's my daughters. My mom is hearing impaired, but she definitely let her know, that's my daughter. Stop sending them mails. You can shoot that mail in there, local people. And he did spend time with us when we were little. I remember him, we give him our little doll. Wrap the cover up, Daddy. No, I don't want it like that. Comb her hair, and 8 girls. He had to do that 8 times. Let's see. Here's something on the board here. Vaughn say, you are an awesome father. Keep up the good work. Queenie says, how do teachers and admins at your school react when you walk into that conference?
Actually, I have to say they were shocked. They were shocked more than anything but they were more sympathetic when I told them that, her mom is deceased, and they understood. They were actually proud that I was a father that stepped up to the plate and actually was there for my child, and I was there for the conferences and the award ceremonies and things of that nature. I actually got a lot of great feedback from that, telling me, to keep up the good work and keep being there and doing that. And my child would light up like a Christmas tree, seeing me at an award ceremony or a school play or anything like that. Just being there, supportive, like having her father there meant the world to her. So I
Yes,
definitely,
it does.
yeah, I enjoy doing that.
He said, great. Okay, Vaughn said, I met you when Cece was a newborn, and you have been a hands-on father since day one. So she said when Cece was a newborn, but I'm not.
Her nickname is CC. Yeah, we call her CC.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Ellen.
Yes.
Ellen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna put the 2 and 2 together. We're gonna get on this side. This is Karina.
Hi.
Okay. Hey, Karina. So that's the CC.
That's the CC. We call her Little CC, and we call my wife Big CC.
She's gotten so tall.
Hasn't she?
Hello, Miss CC. How are you? Beautiful girl.
Good.
So proud of your dad. So proud of you as well. Oh, so precious. I love this family. I love CC and her husband. They're just a wonderful, loving family. I fell in love with them when I seen them just day one. I love their energy. I love their creativity. They're just great. Juan said, too cute, beautiful family. Yes, this is a family, a ride or die family.
Yes, we are.
Oh, Sonia said, oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. Pretty little CC. Oh, you guys are so amazing. You mind if I ask your wife one question?
Sure.
And it won't be shocking, Cece. Don't matter. I won't put you out back door, okay?
No question is too shocking for me to answer.
Okay, good. I wanted to ask you, being that you, your husband, single father, and his daughter, what was most important to you when you met him with his daughter? Did you date her first, or you know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Let me think back. That was actually 6 years ago today. We're actually celebrating our 6-year anniversary of being together today. So when I first met Karina, it was actually by accident. I wasn't supposed to meet her at the time that I met her. I wasn't supposed to meet her, but I actually met her at your mom's house. We went over to his mom's house, and it was my first time actually coming down to Newport News, meeting his mom, meeting his nephews and his nieces at the same time. And I was like, hello, Karina, how are you? And she gave me this look like, who is she? Why is she talking to me like typical children would? And I wouldn't expect none, I wouldn't expect none the less of it. It took a while for her to warm up to me, but it also took a while for me to warm up to her. And see, a lot of people don't understand that, I have a son. So I did not ask for a daughter. I asked for a son because it was going to be a little bit easier for me. So God gave me a son. And then when I found out Will had a daughter, I was sitting here like, Jesus? I can do this. I know I can do this. Because I said no girls. But I said, you know what, I can do this because it was a challenge. It really was a challenge for me. It took me a couple of years to actually wrap around the fact that, you know, if I wanted him, I had to
Yeah.
also accept Karina.
Yes.
And I will honestly say it took me 3 years because I even had to, you know, admit to Will that, hey, this has been a struggle for me to accept your daughter. And it's not that I didn't want to, it was the fact that I actually couldn't because I knew what I was looking for. I knew what I wanted. And the fact that it was like odd on both levels. Him having a daughter, me having a son, and you got two, a boy and a girl that really cannot play together like they want to
Mm-hmm.
because of their sex. But then after a while, we put the kids together. And the bond that they had the first day that they met was
Wow.
unbreakable. It seriously was an unbreakable bond. It was like brotherly, sisterly love, like they literally was born from the same mom. And then they started looking like each other. And after a while, I think the first time we went to a store as a family, it was after church, and a lady walked up to us and walked up to Will and said to him, "You have a beautiful family." And he said, "Thank you." She was like, "I'm not just talking about your family, I'm talking about your children. Your children look like a set of twins." And he was like, "Oh no, they are two. Well, that's my fiance's son and that's my daughter." But the fact that God brought us together the way that he did, it was, I can honestly say, what, immensely grateful. I guess that's the type of words I could actually use.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually grateful. And then for me to say, you know, I told Will, I said, you know what, I need to get to know Rena on a one-on-one level, just like you need to get to know Jay on a one-on-one level. So I took Rena and we started doing things together. And now that she is getting older, it's a lot easier for me because I actually like the teenagers. I like bonding with the teenagers because I feel like I can motivate them while they are still at this preteen stage, getting ready to go into the teens. So I say, you know what? It's time for me to bond. It's time for us to learn how to do things together. And so that's basically that's how it went. Yeah, that's how it went.
Let me ask you both this. Let me ask you both this question because you both brought children into the relationship. So how was it with you both trusting each other with each other children? You know, because sometimes, like you say, you bring the
Oh,
kids.
you
They call it blended family now. They don't call it. They don't call the word step anymore. I
Right.
hear the word blended family. And
Yes.
so when
yes.
you blend your family together, how was it for both of you guys a moment of, okay, my daughter's going to be with her, my son is going to be with him, you know, early on, not right now, because we know that you guys got it together right now. In the early stages of that, how was that?
I have to say it seemed like when they first met, they got along great. It was like that we've known each other for a long time. Like, I don't consider her like as Karina's stepmom. I consider her bonus mom as, you know, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, how they are with their children. You know, he had a child from a previous marriage, and
Mm-hmm.
his son Trey calls Jada his bonus mom. So I look at Karina
Mm-hmm.
as, you know, my wife as her bonus mom. And to me, I feel like, I mean, it was a little tough when we like finally got married and moved in because we had to learn how everyone operates,
Mm-hmm.
like far as
Mm-hmm.
schedules and living with each other and how, you know, we keep everything organized and everything. But we're still working on that, getting it down pretty
Mm-hmm.
much together. It was easier back then when we had, you know, the distance where we could visit each other and everything. He was like, okay, if you got on somebody's nerves, you know, we can leave and go back to our
Yeah.
place. But now it's like, you know, you're stuck with them like 24/7. It's like, oh, what can I do? But
Right.
I mean, we're still working on that, and it's starting to go. You know, we're making great progress with that. And
That is good. That is good.
What?
Especially when you said about the children bonding
Yeah.
together. So now they're a little bit older, and I wouldn't have known any different. That you know that you were a blended family because you have that oneness between you all. And I, to be honest, with a woman from a woman perspective in general, not as a whole, CC, I know
Mm-hmm.
as a woman it's hard to try to mother another child because you only get one mother. A father
Right.
could come in and bother the child, but you're saying the word mommy,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna get, you didn't birth me. So that is
Mhm.
totally different from us coming in, whereas a father could
Right.
just step in and it's different. It is totally
Yes, it is.
different. And that's why I was thinking, how do you do that? You guys go on dates and different things like that. It is so awesome. It is awesome to have you guys here. And there's some questions on the board, and I am going to look at them. Let's see. It starts right here.
I saw that one.
Queenie asked. She said, "Have you took
Mhm.
have have you took her to daddy daughter dance?"
Ah, yes. We actually, when she was a student at Andrews, they used to have an annual father and daughter dance, and I took her every year. I remember from even the very first year, it was like, it was like amazing. It was an amazing experience to see all those fathers there with their daughters. It was like a lot of teachers that were there, like as far as chaperone and everything, was like, we didn't even realize these girls had fathers because that was one moment when you saw the proud fathers there with their daughters. I mean, they would get dressed up. We talking like three-piece suits and all kinds of colors and hats on and everything. And I, in the midst, I was hanging with them, and yeah, it was a wonderful experience, getting to dance with the child, getting to see the other fathers bonding with their daughters, getting to meet the other fathers talking to them, experiencing how it is to be a father, whether they were single fathers or not. I mean, I had a wonderful time. Unfortunately, they stopped the dances about a couple
Ah,
years ago. Yeah,
wow.
and a lot of kids were hurt behind that, and because we were really looking forward to that. I mean, I loved it. My daughter loved it. It was like one moment that she could say she spent with her father and had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hopefully you and Cece can start that back up. You know how you guys do. Hint, hint. Okay, on the board, Laria, I hope I said that right. You guys have a beautiful story. Artemis said you two look good together. And
Thank
Sonia
you.
said, what about discipline? How did that work between
Oh.
the both of you? That is a great question because some people do parent differently. Go ahead, tell us about that.
Uh,
You want me to do this one?
well, I want to start off by saying we're still working on that. It's
Sonia,
kind of rough.
you digging, Sonia, you
Yeah,
digging.
yeah, that's a good question. Because being that they're both, where from, they're from another mother. He's from another father. It's like you're not, as you were saying earlier. You're not my mom and you're not my dad. So that is a tough one. Um, dealing, getting the child, dealing with the respect for the child to have for the parents. But we had to lay the ground rules down, saying, before we got married, we had to talk with them, saying, okay, this is how it's going to be. How do you feel about them, being your bonus mom or your bonus father? And the children, they agreed with that. They were excited and they were happy about that. And
Till we moved in together.
yeah, until we moved in together.
Uh-oh,
That's when it
uh-oh.
got
That
kind
would
of tough.
change.
Yeah. Like I said, it looked good on paper and everything, but
Uh-huh. Yeah, until we went
yeah, you can
into
take
yeah.
over to that part. Yeah, I'll let my wife handle that part.
Well, the the hardest part for me, coming from a single mother going into marital bliss, the hardest part was actually allowing my husband to discipline my son, simply because Jay has never had a actual father figure in his life that would actually discipline him. It was more so of he gets whatever he wants regardless of what the factor is. And it was hard for me to even discipline my own child because of different barriers. But when I got to Will, I was able to raise my son the way that I've always wanted to raise him. The same way that my parents raised me would have been the same way that I instilled into Jay as well as Rena. When Rena, let's see, when I started disciplining Rena, when was it? After we got married. Yeah, after we got married, that's when I started becoming the disciplinarian in the house altogether. And oh, trust me and Rena, we have had our battles where we have gone head to head. But at the end of the day, after I raised all the sane I could raise, at the end of the day, it was all about the respect and being mature about the situation and whatever situations are coming along. And so For Rena and I, it's more so of, I've always told her, you can come and talk to me about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care what question you ask. I got an answer for every question that anybody can give me. So, so that's how that was between Rena and I. With Will and Jay, Jay never had a problem with it. Jay's whole point was, I know who my bio dad is, but Will always be my father because he was there for me the most. And so, really? so, so Jay knows what buttons to push with Will and what buttons not to push with Will. And I've even, and even I think there was one time he did raise his voice at Will, and I did not care for that. So I had to step in and discipline. But then even he didn't have to listen to me, so I had to make that phone call to my mama for my mom to explain to Jay that you cannot disrespect Will when that is your father. Like, even my mom, as far as since we've been together, she has never called Will her son-in-law. She has always called Will her son. And that has always remained. And I even know conversations where I've had with my mom, and she would tell me, I know what the paperwork says and everything with the court systems, but God forbid if anything happens to you, Jay needs to go to Will. Not his regular father, because his regular father doesn't know anything about Jay, and so we fear that. So definitely, it's more so that Jay is actually happy being with Will. Majority of the times when I leave, he rather stays at home with Will. He doesn't like to go out on the road with me anymore like he used to. He actually likes being at home. So when they get together, they really cut up. I mean, like, one time we went to the store, these two cats are sitting here playing like they Star Wars. One had the red, other one had the blue, and they sitting here literally going at it in Walmart. So So I was like, that was so amazing. The bond that they shared was awesome. And I know the bond that my daughter and I had, we just did Mother-Daughter Day for her birthday. And we went and got our nails done and our feet done together. And that was fun. And then I took her to the mall and got her ears pierced. And she was real excited about that. And I told her, look, you got a $200 shopping spree. Go ahead. I don't care what you do. But funds, funds kicked in. I had to limit it to $150. So I had to knock off $50. So, but I told her, hey, you got $150, blow it. I don't care. Because my whole point was, I've done for you ever since I stepped in. And every time there was a birthday, holiday, whatever it was a special moment. But I think the best moment that I have actually seen Karina really say, you know what, I cannot believe she was there. And I'm glad that she was when she graduated from 5th grade last year. She did not know, because we didn't tell her that we was coming to the graduation. And so when she saw me and she ran to me and just hugged me, I was I was literally in tears, because I'm like, this is what I was looking for from Rena for a long time. And to actually get that meant more to me than anything. I mean, it was a very precious moment for me. It really was.
Wow. Manipulation. How you guys handle it between the two kids trying to manipulate you guys?
Yeah, we have that issue where they play one parent against the other. Like, they'll come and ask one parent, you say no, and they'll go ask the other one and see if they can get a yes out of it. But most of the time, Nico and I, we try to remain on one accord. Like, we'll try to talk about it, and we'll try to be on the same page. So if they try to play us against each other, it won't happen. Like, no, we try to shut that down as much as we can. But, awesome. Kids are like that. They try to play the manipulation game.
Yes, they
do. We call it United Front. That's what my husband calls it. We still have the United Front. They're grown now. We still United Front. We got we still have the United Front. There's some things on the board I'm going to let go in right now. Wendy said, oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Wendy. Now, Laria, I hope I said her name right.
Lorraine.
Lorraine.
She's a friend of mine.
So just don't look at the eye. She said, Will, how did you build your relationship with Jay on father-son bond? and prepare your relationship with him?
I can remember when I first met Jay. He was sick. He was intubated in the hospital. He was in intensive care. He was really sick. He has life-threatening asthma. And when my wife told me about this, so I went to the store, got him like some teddy bears. I found out what kind of things he liked. He was into cars, like Disney cars, dinosaurs, and things of that nature. So I went and got him a few gifts. Came to the hospital, and he was like. Um, he had the mask on, respiratory equipment all hooked up to him and everything. But he was kind of in and out of it. But I was able to give him the gifts and everything. He kind of smiled or whatever. But when he got out the hospital, when I saw him again, my mom was like, "Jay, do you remember who this guy is?" And he was like, "That's the guy who visited me when I was in the hospital." And he remembered that. That right there stuck in my heart, like still stands there from to this day. And I felt like we had a bond that day. Even though he was sick and medicated, but he knew that I was the guy that was still there and I'm still in his life. And, he's a very, very, very strong dinosaur lover. So he loves Godzilla, things of that nature. So I figure, that's how I can bond with him. And he also, yes, he does love God. First book his mother bought him was about a children's Bible, and he knows scriptures and everything. We went to Sunday school recently at my sister's church in North Carolina Sunday. Sunday school teacher came and told us after Sunday school at the main service that he was like one of the star children there. I mean, he was on point. He did the work by himself and everything. So he has that relationship with God. And most of the time, children like to bring like an iPad or something to church. But when he had his iPad with him, when he was in church, he didn't want to use the iPad. He was attentive to the preacher and everything, and involved in the service. So. He has that relationship with Christ, and we have that bond together. It's like one of those bonds you can't break. He's like, Will is my father. He'll tell anyone that.
Yeah.
Like, Will is my dad. He gets off the school bus when I get him off the bus in the afternoon. He would run up to me and hug me like, Will. Like, so it's like, run past his mother, run straight to me.
I don't exist anymore.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Let's see what we have on the board here. Oh, Sonia said this is an earlier thing about discipline. Sonia said, I'm still having a hard time with my fiance disciplining my daughter. So she have a hard time with that. I know.
I actually can relate to that. It took me 3 years for me to trust Will to leave Jay around him. Simply because of all the things that my son and I went through. And I would literally, I know this sounds kind of harsh, but he understood why I did what I did. Sorry, you can see a boob. But but
all right, now Will said no.
Yeah, no, I said my bad.
That's right, Will. That's what your husband's supposed to do. Cover you. So he knows.
But yeah,
he knows.
It got to the point. Oh, he wants everybody to see this. But it got to the thank you. But it got to the point that I think the first time I actually allowed him to take Jay to the bathroom, I literally followed him to the bathroom with Jay they walking hand in hand, and I literally followed Will to the bathroom just to make sure, and stood outside that bathroom door just to make sure that Jay would come out. I even followed him in the house. I would stand and watch him take Jay into the bathroom. And I would ask Jay, did he do anything to you? And he would tell me no. I mean, that's how serious it was just on the trust level. When it came to the discipline, I was just the same way. My thing is, don't raise your voice at Jay, blah, blah, blah. You're not his daddy, blah, blah, blah. And then I had to think about it. Wait a minute, Jesus. Technically, his daddy don't want to be bothered, so this is all he got. So I might as well just let it roll. Just put my hands on my child. So that's how that operated between Will and I. That's how that worked out.
That was during the earlier stages, you would say.
Yes. That was like the first three years of our relationship.
And that's a very honest. I'm pretty sure if you're still there, Sonia, she gave a good insight on that, and you can see, let's see. Sonia said, who is the more stricter parent between you two? Who is the more stricter parent?
I'm known as the. We always do the good cop, bad cop thing. I'm normally.
He's the good
Yeah,
cop.
I'm the
I'm the
good
bad
guy.
cop.
I'm the good guy.
You guys are the reverse of us.
I'm the stricter parent. I really am. Let's see. Why am I the stricter parent? I guess because technically Will and I was raised differently. Some things he allowed slide when I was growing up, we wasn't allowed to happen. So it's more so of what we did was we talked about the way that we were disciplined coming up and how we can take what we learned as children and enforce it on our children so that way they will understand we're going to discipline you, but understand that we love you at the same time as we disciplining you. So that's how that works. But yeah, I'm the stricter parent. Some things I will say no to. He'll give them an okay.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but sometimes he'll give them the okay, or so, or if he'll say no, or I might give them the okay. Like good example. Rena, when I first met Rena, she did not have her ears pierced. Yeah, roll your eyes on that one. Just roll your eyes on that one.
You guys
So,
are such I
so
love it.
it took. I begged for 5 years to allow it to happen, and it took a long time for that to happen. But eventually, Will gave me the okay when Rena turned 12, and I kept telling Rena, "Go talk to your dad," because I already done my part. But if you go to him and tell him how much it really means to you to get your ears pierced, he might bend the rules a little bit.
It's daddy's girl. Sometimes, we're
Oh
selfish
my!
for our daughters.
So when
Old
he
fashioned with
told
the ear
me,
piercing.
he was like, if anything happens to Rena, it's on you. I'll take the heat. That's fine. I'll take the heat for that. I don't care. Long as she gets her ears pierced and be like all the other girls and like her cousins, then that's fine. And so that's exactly what happened. Thank God nothing bad happened. And she's been honky dory ever since. Been good to go.
So, what age was she when she got those first earring piercings?
Oh, she got them pierced for her 12th birthday this year.
Her 12th birthday. So that was
Yeah.
just recently.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I imagine that was a good one. Was he there when you took her? Or just
Nah, he
you?
was at work. I took her
Oh.
out of school for the day, and we just spent the day together.
Oh, that is so
But
nice.
I did
Oh.
videotape it. I videotaped it so he can see.
Oh my goodness. I can remember that time too, Will and Cece, when my daughter, she was a preemie, so she couldn't get her ears pierced because her earlobes were too small. And I can remember when my husband, he kept going out to see, and finally when he came back, she was about 8 months, and so my husband told me he took her there, and women were like, "It's a shame you're just now getting her ears pierced." And he told them, "Look, just shut your mouth, you know." And they were just all on him, just. I was like, "Oh my gosh," So that was his experience. It wasn't too good for him, but yeah. So that was crazy. It was crazy. Blending the family together. So what would you both tell people? We only have a few more minutes, so what would you tell uh, someone that's blending their family together? It's kind of a two-part what I want to say, because first meeting and have a child, and you guys are single, and then what is that like being single and then bonding that family together to blend? What would you tell somebody on that? How to do that? Not necessarily a how to, because I know it's different from everybody, but just from your personal experience, being single, then now have to blend your family together. So how would you tell that experience to someone that is thinking about doing that, or that are doing it and can't quite get it together? What would you guys say about that?
I would say put Christ first in it. Try definitely praying together, going to church as a family. Try to see how work out. Definitely, I say Christ makes it easy for everything. He really does. Cause first thing when Nico and I first met, when she came to visit, whatever, and she was there on a Sunday, I would take her to church with me, and she grew up in the church, and I grew up in the church, so that helped a lot, and our children, being us taking them to church, that helped, and it helped bring us stronger together a lot. Putting God first.
Oh, someone's asking for a part 2 with you guys. Let us know if you'd like to do a part 2. Someone said, "Can we have a part 2 with you guys?"
We can.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem.
She said, "That's fine. That's not a problem. We'll work out that, and we'll work out some more things because I got quite a few questions that I didn't quite get out. But this is wonderful." That was Sonia. She said, "Can we have a part 2 with you, with both of you?" So somebody need to know this. Somebody need to know, and they're throwing up them hearts. Somebody needs to know how to put a family together. You just started dating, and he said he let the cat out of the bag. He said you met online. Woo, that's kind of scary as well too. Meeting online. So I'm gonna listen to this replay, and I'm gonna pull some things from what I hear. Sometimes you get off and then you listen to the replay, you're like, woo, I said that. Ooh, I didn't mean to let out that much. So I'm gonna kind of dig in there and see what you let out the bag, and then I'll come back with some more questions. But this has been nice. Let me give a shout out to everybody that's on here that I see. And we have here Serenity, thank you for being here. Robin Williams, thank you for being here. Judith Edwards, Queenie Queen, thank you. Sonia, thank you for being here. Elise, Artemis, Vaughn, thank you so much. Let's see who else. Wendy, I remember seeing you there. Florence Bentley from my hometown in Chicago, thank you for being here. Joy Kelly, thank you for being here from my church. And then you said her name is Lorraine?
Yes.
Lorraine, thank you for being here. Jack Borhound, thank you guys for being here. And then I guess we'll talk it over. If that's a part 2, we'll see a part 2 with Will and his wife, how the single parent, but we might have to name it something else now that you guys are together. Linden Families or something. We'll think of a title. She's got a lot of titles in her, so we'll think of a title part 2. And you guys are phenomenal. I got a chance to meet you guys in person. I love them from the onset. I've seen their chemistry, and I also seen how Cece, she is very protective of you, Will. She won't let nobody run over you, because we was at an event together and I was saying something. She's like, "Oh, wait a minute." She wanted to make sure that your excitement of what you wanted to do was not stopping you from hearing what we were asking. So I was like, "Go ahead, Cece. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cece. She's not going to let you be responsible for something that you didn't really hear." So
right. That's right.
That is so exciting. So I will see you guys next time. But before you guys go, on Friday, this coming Friday, we're going to finally talk about our book. And this is, I don't know if it's upside down. Yes, it's upside down. I saw that. We're going to talk about Letter of the Years. This is Annie Taylor. So in here you got Della. She's a hot mess, and she's running away from her family. She said that she feel like she buzzing around the edges of her family. They don't pay any attention to her. You guys are going to see us talk about it. And so this is hilarious. And then this is our 4th book. That was our 3rd book in we are reading book club. So this one is by Victor McLaughlin. It is titled Backsliders, and you have a pastor. His name is Orlando, and he is quite a character. You got him here in his community, his teachers, treacherous community. They trying to figure out, I'll just tell you right here is a dynamic mega pastor, Orlando Clay. He's often odd teacher, treacherous community leaders, and jealous rivalry. So they got to figure out if his lover, or when you say lover, people think something else, but the woman that he's in love with, she gets kidnapped by a drug dealer. So his parishioners have to decide whether they're going to be on the pastor side or they're just going to let him do what is happening. So I'm going to paraphrase that, but you guys will hear us talking about that. That's our 4th book. And be on the lookout this month. We're still talking about Father's Womb. So we're going to come back with Vincent Ellis White. He wrote an article, and the article was 6 ways to enhance your child. Wow, raising him as a Black single father. So we're going to finish up that. We got, he wrote 6. So we did 2 already, and we're coming back on the 21st and the 28th. We're going to finish that topic. And then on the 29th of this month, we're going to talk to Omar, New York Times bestseller, Omar Tyree. We're going to do his, he got ebooks. The first one was American Disease, Full Blown, episode 1, Full Blown and Fatal. So that one there, we already doing. Now we're on the second one, and it is episode 2, Survival of the Fittest. So he's going to be live on the 29th, and that's going to be at 8. So guys, we got a lot of stuff still going on. CC will have you guys coming back, and maybe, might as well say it'll be in July. You guys get your calendar together, and we'll have a part 2 with you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys on the board, and it has been great. Ellen Sutter of ESP presents, where we bring page turners your way. You guys, you are phenomenal. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your time, and let me know. I'll listen to this, and I'll give you guys something. And Cindy says nothing too hard to ask, so I don't know. Will what we're talking about, so he'll know that you can let it out the bag. And you guys have a wonderful night. Good night to you guys, and thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Love you, CC. Thank you, Will. So that's love our Will. Thank you so much, guys. Good night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.